Yeah. We left off towards the bottom of 22. He said there are three categories, classifications of people in society. There are those that refer to Shlemi Adas, people who have an appreciation for wisdom. They understand it. Those people, they want to invest their ability to bring about something which is significant and complete. Then you have the people lesser than that, where even if it's not complete, they're satisfied. Then you have just the masses, which they really don't understand what it is. They just go through the motions. So right now he's discussing the Shlemi Adas. Shlemi Adas he refers to as the truly wise. They understand that the mediums to bring about the end result have to be done with greater effort, with greater focus, because if you minimize on the investment, the end result is going to be compromised. So therefore they give it their fullest ability, because they understand you're not able to achieve the completion if you go and you minimize on the means to bring it about. Right? And at the end they're deficient, he says, in their effort. They'll be lacking perfection. They understand what the ultimate level of accomplishment is to achieve perfection. So anything which will not bring that about, it's a problem to them. Their investment is what? Their investment of their ability and their value is actually fall short of where they should arrive. Therefore they will choose only to increase and to be more strict in all the prerequisites to bring about the shleimus, the perfection. And they will not cease and they will not be at peace as a result of worrying that maybe they're falling short of what's needed to bring about that level of perfection. Maybe they'll be deficient in what's needed to bring about that perfection, which they desire. Fortunate is the man who's always fearful, continuously fearful. What is he afraid of? It's regarding to the study of Torah. The ultimate achievement is that a person fears sin. What is fearing sin? You fear that maybe you may sin, or intermingled in your actions, they were not pure enough and it was tainted with sin. This is the most praiseworthy level of level. He's always worried. He's afraid and worried that maybe in his levels of accomplishment there means some degree of sin, which will prevent him, deny him perfection, which he's obligated to take the initiative to bring it about. He says particle of sin. Says that each person is burnt, is singed from the chuppah of his fellow. Why? We'll see in a moment what it means. Two people arrive after 120 years. Each person had equal opportunity. And one person did not take advantage of the opportunity, the other one did. They both arrived. Or one did, but not to the same degree. And the difference, the nuances of difference in how advanced you are in the world to come. Mm-hmm. So the one who achieved to a lesser degree, he's pained because he realized what he missed. Because if he would have valued what he should have valued, he'd be no less than his fellow. So he's actually singed by the level, huposa means by the status of his fellow. It's not a question of jealousy. It's not you're jealous of the other person. you're disappointed with yourself. You could have accomplished that. You only realize what you missed when you see what the other person achieved. You see yourself deficient in perfection, and it was a level that you could have achieved. But you made a choice because you had other priorities. But if a person continuously reflects on this reality, the one who's truly wise, he will always be careful regarding his behavior and his actions to make sure they're done on the utmost level. Because the end result is, you're going to fall short of what you want to accomplish. And most people say, the person is an observant Jew. He says, does it really make a difference? So I'll be less, right? He admits. So I won't have the same level of Olam Haba. I'll be in Olam Haba. But when do you appreciate what you really missed out on? When you're there. And when you're there, it's too late already. You know, there's no going back. You can't make the correction any longer. I'll give you an example. You know, in terms of material, a person says, you know, are you envious that you make 100,000, someone makes $500,000? Person, I'm satisfied with 100,000. That satisfies my need. But you say, but you can't have what the other man has because he has access to more. So it does make a difference. I'm satisfied with less. Why are you satisfied with less? Because truly you're satisfied with less. But when you come to Olam Haba and you realize that you need perfection, it's something you need. So if something you need, there's no such thing as being satisfied. You understand? A person says, it's okay if I go to bed with hunger pangs, but you have hunger pangs. Your body is malfunctioning because it's not nourished sufficiently. It's okay. It's not okay. Even though you say it's okay, it's not okay. When you come to Olam Haba, then you realize what you're missing. And if you see your deficiency, you recognize it, you can't say, the person says, I'm satisfied. The person says, I'm satisfied that he's a paraplegic. Could the person say he's satisfied? Well, I'm not envious of a person who has full function of his body. You may not be envious, but factually, what? You're pained that you don't have the full function. It's the same idea. It's a basic need. It's a basic amenity in Olam Haba to achieve perfection. Why is it a basic amenity? Why is it a basic amenity? What is Olam Haba? It's your relationship with Hashem. That's Olam Haba. Hashem is perfect on the absolute level. The closer you are to being perfect as a human being, you have greater relevance to His perfection. The more you fail, the less you have relevance in it. That means your relationship with Him is to a lesser degree. You're there ultimately to have the relationship with Him, which is the ultimate. And that's what Shleimus is.
The relationship with Him is
so,
the accomplishments in His life.
That's Shleimus, that's perfection. You want to have relevance to a perfect being, the more perfect you are, you have relevance to that. Moshe Rabbeinu, even though he's not perfect in the absolute, nobody's perfect in the absolute, but you're perfect in terms of you addressed what your potential was. So if that's the case, it's not a problem. You know, it's interesting, I once mentioned, the Ramchal writes in Derech Hashem, a human being is finite. You're finite. How does a finite being have relevance to the infinite? No. He says what you do is you attach yourself to the infinite. He says if you graft a branch onto a tree, right? If the graft is done properly, it becomes part of the system of the tree. If a person lives his life fully dedicated and committed to Hashem, that's ubotidbok. You should attach yourself. You should cleave to Hashem. What's full attachment? You live for Him, you don't live for yourself. Right? That's shleimus, that's perfection. So then you become part of His system. That's how you become part of an infinite system. It's like grafting the branch onto the tree. My being is Him. So if your being is Him, what flows through your spiritual system is Him. And you have a sense of Him. But if you live for yourself, that means the graft doesn't fully take. It takes partially. But it doesn't fully become part of the system. And therefore, when you function on the deficient level. That's the understanding.
I mean, the branch is an interesting concept. I mean, the branch is close to the trunk. That's different than the branch that.
Wherever it attaches itself. Whatever a proper graft is. The Ramchal writes the whole concept of conversion. I mean, if a person is born with a neshama, not a Jewish soul, how, if you follow the conversion process, even if it's done properly, sincerity, everything, how does the metamorphosis go? How do you go from a non-Jew to become a Jew? So he says, Klal Yisrael is like a tree. If you follow the prescription of conversion, it's like you're grafting the neshama onto the nishmas Yisrael. That's how it works. And the Torah gives the prescription. Kabbalah's mitzvahs, sincerity and accepting upon the mitzvahs, and what? And milo tvilo, depends on man or a woman what you need. You meet all the criteria, you do it right, then that change takes place. Your neshama, his or her neshama is attached. Once it's attached, the change takes place immediately.
One sec. The way I understand perfection, it's a quest. That it's not a temporary, you don't achieve perfection constantly. It's something every day you have to renew it. So by grafting on, it seems that it's a constant.
Wait a second, take it slow. What do a person lives 89 years, 3 months, 3 weeks, so many hours, so many days, so many minutes, so many seconds. Why?
Okay.
What do you live every moment that you live? What do you do?
That's your moment. That's the
No. Because a person has a potential, and you need that amount of time to achieve that potential.
Okay.
So what is your quest? Your quest is to address your potential.
Right, so it's on a day-to-day basis.
Of course it's that. Do you achieve perfection in one moment? If you're going to live longer, evidently you have more to go.
I hear it, but the analogy of grafting on means there's a permanency to it. I understand perfection. Every day you have to renew it.
No, we're talking about the end of your life. Where has the graft been done properly? Hasn't been done properly? That's when we make the evaluation. Right? After 120 years, did you attach yourself sufficiently? Did you not attach yourself sufficiently?
You've told us that the last moment you never trust yourself, so I would say you never know. You never know.
You never know when you die. You never know.
No, you never
So
know.
therefore, you do your best every moment. Therefore, you do your best every moment.
Right.
Because you never know. But God knows.
Obviously, we're always upset when someone passes away prematurely, a teenager, a child.
Yeah.
But from what you're saying, for that neshama, well, it's positive.
Maybe yes, maybe
Because
no.
the-
For a
because-
child, yes.
Yes.
For a child, yes.
Somebody under 20, right? They reached their...
No.
They completed their mission.
No.
They were snuffed out.
It depends. A child under bar mitzvah, yes.
Yes, what?
Because there's no liability for a child. A minor, there's no liability.
So
But let's say, so therefore, the person's achieved what he was meant to achieve, and that's it. The neshama came for the amount of time it was meant to be here, and then it's taken. It's achieved. Probably it was a Gilgal, right? It was meant to come for some level of correction. They corrected it, God takes it. Well, let's say a person is an adult, 15-year-old, and he doesn't behave himself in many areas. Doesn't keep Shabbos properly, doesn't eat kosher, and God takes him. God could have taken him because all the years that he had to live, they were taken from him. So it doesn't mean to say it's something positive. It could be something very negative. It's no different than a 50-year-old passing away. He was taken before his time. Why? Because he didn't deserve to live the more years, just continue sinning. So God took him earlier.
But you never know if he had.
Nobody knows. Only God knows.
You think whether he was taken early or whether that
You never
was
know.
what he was given.
You never know. You never know. Yeah, but a person's not a tzaddik. Person is not a tzaddik. You know, they talk about that person. He's 18 years old, and he drowned on a beach when he was surfing together with women and girls and whatever way he lived. And every Saturday he went to a nightclub. This person had lived a proper life, but he was only 18 years old. Good, so that's God. God knows. We don't know. We're not here to pass judgment. But you can't say, he definitely was a tzaddik, that's why God took him. Right, he'd live a life of a tzaddik, but he was only 15. So 15, there's liability. He's already, he's bar mitzvah. To be continued.
You don't know that either.
You know nothing. We know nothing. Only God knows. We're not here to pass judgment.
Right, exactly. So whether he's 70,
No, he definitely wasn't doing mitzvahs. Mitzvahs he wasn't doing.
I understand, but we don't.
We're not here to pass judgment. It's none of our business, you understand? But to say he was taken because he was perfect, that you can't say either.
At 8:30.
A child, you could say that. Less than bar mitzvah, you could say that.
People achieve 70, and if you're lucky, you get
Anything above 70 is above.
Right.